It's me! I made this really cool mask. It's my mom. Because I'm going to scare you about something. Very, even more scary than my little watermelon mask. Do you know what is it? It is pirates. A very scary pirates. Let's see. The first pirates. The world pirates. The golden age of pirates. Pirate ships. A pirate spy. Pirate treasure. Pirate attacked. Pricey after the golden age. Doing more research index. Chapter 1. The first pirates. Look at the pirates. For as long as there have been ships sailing by the seas, there have been pirates. Pirates are sea robbers. They attack ships on the water in towns along the seacoast. There are many pirate legends and stories, but the most famous are about pirates who lived over 200 years ago. The pirates in these tales lead exciting lives. They obey no laws. They find buried treasures. They sing songs about their daring deeds. The truth is that most real-life pirates long ago led miserable lives. They spent long, boring days on the water. They ate rotten food. They caught terrible disease. Many died in sea battles and shipwrecks. Pirates were outlaws. They lived in fear of being caught and punished for their crimes. Most often, the punishment for being a pirate was death. Still, thousands of people over the world over the years choose to become a pirate. Searching for treasures, they jumped aboard ships and set out to the open seas. Greek pirates. Some of the first pirates we know about lived near 3,000 years ago. They robbed trading ships sailing along the coast of ancient Greece. See maps on page 24. These ancient Greek pirates hid on the island near the shore. When the trading ship passed by, they rowed out and surprised the sailors. The pirates stole the ship guards and mostly kidnapped the sailors and take over the ship. A Greek myth tells about the pirates who kidnapped a god Dionysus. Dionysus is the god of wine and celebration. In the myth, Dionysus turns into a lion. The pirates jump into the sea. Dionysus changed them all into dolphins. Roman pirates. Pirates were also a problem in the ancient Rome. Thousands of pirates attacked ships carrying food to and from Roman ports. These pirates even had their own pirate nation. This is the coast of what is now Turkey. The great Roman leader Julius Caesar was captured by pirates when he was a young man. The pirates raids held Caesar prisoner for over a month. They let him go for only after his father sent them money. After he was rescued, Caesar led a fleet of ships to find the pirates. When the pirates were caught, Caesar had them all killed. In 67 BC, a Roman general named Pompey led a war against all the pirates in the ancient Rome. The Roman navy attacked the pirate ships at sea. The Roman army attacked the pirates' camps on the land. Over 3,000 pirates were captured or killed. Pirates from the north. Around 700 AD, Viking pirates began attacking villages along the coast of Europe. The Vikings came from Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. The word Viking means sea raider of the Norse language. The Vikings were good sailors and shipbuilders. Their ships are called longboats. Longboats are very fast. They usually a single sail and many oars. There was often a dragon's head carved on the front. When Vikings attacked the village, they raced off their longboats screaming and waving swords and battle axes. They robbed homes and churches. They stole treasures and took captives. Over 400 years, Vikings raided villages in Western Europe, Russia, and the Middle East. In spite of their fierce ways, many Vikings settled in the land they invaded. They built homes, they farmed the land, and raised families. The Barbary Corsairs. Another group of sea raiders who began attacking ships during the Middle Ages was the Barbary Corsairs. Barbary Corsairs were seamen from the northern coast of Africa. They lived in countries called the Barbary States. The Barbary Corsairs were more interested in capturing people than in stealing treasure. They held the captives prisoner until ransom was paid. If no one paid the ransom, they sometimes sold their captives as slaves. Pirates of the Far East. From earliest time, pirates also roamed the seas of Far East. They raided ships and coastal down to China, Japan, Borneo, and the Spice Islands. In the 16,000s, a pirate named Chang Ji-long sailed to South China Sea with over 1,000 pirate ships. Later, a Chinese woman named Chang Ai-shao led over 70,000 men and women sailors in pirate raids. The ancient Chinese invented the compass, an instrument that helped sailors figure out where they were going. Until the end of the 14th, pirates mostly roamed our seas near the Europe, Africa, and the Far East. But after 1492, pirates discovered a whole new world of ships to attack and rob. Early pirates, Greek pirates, Roman pirates, Vikings, barrier crossers, Asian pirates. Turn the page to see the world of early pirates. Chapter 2. New World Pirates. In 1492, an explorer named Christopher Columbus made a sea voyage that changed the history of the world. Look, this is Columbus. Columbus was hired by the King and Queen of Spain. They wanted him to find a new way to get to the continent of Asia. Columbus never found a new way to Asia. Instead, he landed on an island in the Caribbean Sea. The island was a part of the world that people in Europe did not know about. This is the area now called the Western Hemisphere, and in Columbus' time, it became known as the New World. After Columbus' voyage, Spanish explorers took over large areas of Central and South America. They destroyed the civilizations of the Native Americans. They stole the gold and silver. They stole the jewelry and precious stones. The Spanish loaded their stolen goods to the treasure ships. These ships were great targets for pirates. Buccaneers. Some of the pirates who attacked Spanish treasure ships are called buccaneers. Buccaneers were mostly outlaws from England, Holland, and France. In the 16th, they settled over several islands in the Caribbean. Buccaneers lived in camps. They hunted cattle and wild pigs of the islands. They learned from Native Americans how to cook meat on grills called bucans. For this reason, they became known as buccaneers or buccaneers. Spain ruled the islands where the buccaneers lived. In the 1630s, Spanish rulers decided to drive them off the island. The buccaneers were furious. They became pirates. Buccaneers began attacking Spanish ships that sailed closer to the islands. They would row out in canoes and attack the ship with guns, knives, and axes. Then they would steal the ship's treasure. Privateers. A special kind of sea raider was called privateer. Privateers worked for government. They had permission to attack ships that belonged to a country's enemy. Privateers took treasure from the ships they attacked and keep it for themselves. Sometimes they gave part of the stolen treasure to the ruler who hired them. In the 16th, the rulers of many countries wanted to share Spain's New World riches. They often hired pirates to attack Spanish ships and towns. To their own countries, privateers were heroes. To their enemies, they were simply pirates. How to become a buccaneer. Buccaneers were famous for their dirty, stinky ways. Here's how to become a buccaneer. Don't bath or change clothes. Buccaneers didn't wash for a month at a time. They made their clothes from animal skin and dressed in the same clothes every day, until they wore out. Don't wear shoes. Buccaneers almost always keep barefoot, even when they attack a ship. Have a barbecue. Ships all over the world stopped at the buccaneers' island for hides, water, and supplies. The sailors often enjoyed the meat of buccaneers grilled on their bucans. And look is Buccaneer Jack and Sailor Annie. She has to throw off her shoes, and they have barbecue. Chapter 3. The Golden Age of Pirates. Amazing. The late 16th and early 17th are known as the Golden Age of Pirates. During the Golden Age, governments hired more and more privateers to attack enemy ships. Buccaneers robbed each other, as well as the Spanish. The Barbary corsairs continued to raid ships over the Mediterranean Sea, and as colonies were established in North America, pirates of all kinds attacked the ships that traded with them. The seas became so dangerous that many countries began to crack down on piracy. They passed strict laws against pirates and anyone who traded with them. They launched warships to hunt pirates down. Hundreds of pirates were killed in the battle. Others were put on trial and hanged for their crimes. In the 720s, the golden age of pirates came to an end. But then, a handful of pirates had become timeless legends. Jackson Eddy's Gallery of Pirates, including tales and drawings of the most famous pirates of all time. Turn the page. Sir Francis Drake. Sir Francis Drake was an English explorer, privateer, and a pirate. He was also the first Englishman to sail around the world. When Drake was a young man, a ship he was attacked by the Spanish. Many friends are killed. For the rest of his life, Drake hated the Spanish. But in 1577, Drake began his voyages around the world. Along the way, he attacked many Spanish ships and towns. The voyage took 3 years. Drake returned with a ship filled with treasures. Drake was knighted by Queen Elizabeth I. Privateers like Sir Francis Drake became known as the sea dogs of Queen Elizabeth. They were heroes in England, because the Spanish thought they were evil pirates. Harry Morgan. Harry Morgan was a famous buccaneer. He lived on the island of Jamaica in the Caribbean. Jamaica was ruled by England. In the 16th, the Spanish tried to take over Jamaica. The governor of Jamaica gave Morgan and the other buccaneers permission to attack Spanish ships and towns. Morgan led many attacks against the Spanish. He was known for his bravery and his cruelty and wild ways. He attacked Spanish towns even after England and Spain had stopped fighting. To keep peace with Spain, the King of England and had Morgan arrested. But Morgan was such a hero in England that he never put on trial. He was later knighted and named Deputy Governor of Jamaica. Captain Kidd. William Kidd was a New York sea captain. In 1695, the King of Ireland hired Captain Kidd to hunt down pirates who attacked trading ships. Instead, Captain Kidd and his crew became pirates and began attacking trading ships themselves. Returned from his voyage, Captain Kidd was put on trial. He claimed his crew that forced him to become a pirate. But Kidd was found guilty and hanged in 1701. Captain Kidd buried some of his treasures before he was caught. There are many legends grew up about the hidden treasure of Captain Kidd. Long Ben, Henry Avery. Henry Long Ben Avery started as a sailor in British Navy. In 1694, he was hired as a privateer. When the crew of his pirate ship didn't receive any pay, they decided to become pirates. They elected Long Ben as their captain. Long Ben and his crew captured a sailing ship from India. The ship was loaded with diamonds and other treasures. The treasure was worth over $400 million in today's money. Long Ben retired his great riches, but legends say he was later cheated out of all his money and died in poverty. Black Bart, Bartholomew Roberts. Bartholomew Roberts was the most successful pirate of the Golden Age. He began as a pirate carrier as a regular sailor. In 1719, a ship he was sailing on was attacked by pirates. Roberts joined them and became a pirate himself. Pirates later made him captain of the ship. Roberts then became known as Black Bart. In less than 4 years, Black Bart captured 400 ships. He was finally killed in the sea battle of the British Royal Navy. Calico Jack, John Rackham, Annie Boney, and Mary Read. Jack Rackham was captain of a pirate ship in the Caribbean in the early 17th. He was called Calico Jack because he liked to wear colorful clothes made of colorful calico. Annie Boney met Calico Jack while he was ashore on the island where she lived. They fell in love. Annie dressed as a man and joined Calico Jack pirate crew. On one of his pirate attacks, Calico Jack captured a young sailor. The sailor wanted to join the pirate crew. The sailor turned out to be another woman dressed as a man. The woman's name was Mary Read. Annie Boney and Mary Read sailed with Calico Jack until the ship was captured in 1720. Reports say only Annie and Mary fought to defend the pirate ship. All the men hid below deck. Calico Jack and hanged for his crimes. Annie Boney and Mary Read were sent to prison. Blackbeard, Edward Teach. Blackbeard was the most famous pirate of all time, but Blackbeard was a pirate for only 2 years. Blackbeard got his nickname from long bushy Blackbeard. When he got into battle, he would braid beards of rope into a beard and long hair. Then he would set them to fire. People were so afraid of Blackbeard that they always gave up without a fight. Finally, the governor of Figure sent a navy to hunt Blackbeard down. The pirate fought like a wild man. He was finally killed by the crew of a navy ship. Chapter 4. Pirate Ships. Greek Navy. Over centuries, pirates have roamed the seas in the different kinds of ships. The most early pirate ships were galleys. A galley is a big rowboat with sails. When there was a good wind, the galley sails were used for extra speed. The Barbary corsairs had huge galleys. It took nearly 100 men to row them. They also carried troops of soldiers. These ships almost never went to long oceans voyages. There were so many men, there was hardly any room for supplies. Sailing ships. During the golden age of pirates, most pirate ships were called sailing ships. They used the wind to carry them on the long voyages to search for treasures. These sailing ships were alike in many ways. They were all made of wood. They all had large sails made from navy clothes. The sails hung from beams called yardarms. The yardarms were attached by the poles called masts. Pirate sailing ships had all places for storing supplies and treasures. Most carried several cannons and smaller guns for protecting ships at sea. Pirate ships, made of wood, large sails, yardarms, mast, storage space, guns. Kind of sailing ships. There are many different kinds of sailing ships. Sloops were a favorite kind of ship pirates. They were small ships with only one mast. Pirate sloops wouldn't hold as many guns as men as larger ships, but in battle they could move around more easily. Best of all, sloops were very fast. Speed has been important to be pirates. The ship has to be fast to catch ships they wanted to attack. They also had to be fast to escape from ships attacking them. Schooners and Brighton tents have 2 masts. They were also very fast. Schooners were popular with American privateers in the late 17th and early 18th. Barquees have 3 or more masts. They're slower than smaller sailing ships. Some pirates like barquees because they could carry more guns and more treasures. Kind of sailing ships. Sloops 1 mast, schooners 2 masts, Brightons 2 masts, barquees 3 or more masts. Turn the page to see the types of pirate ships. It looks so cool. Oh, I really want to read you more about the pirate's life, but I've already read enough. See you next time and bye!